All right, welcome to Reaction Monday, NFL Week 7. Man, had a lot of injuries, had some horrible play, but NFL Week 7 is here. We got Monday Night Football on tonight as well. We got Bears and Rams. So thank you for tuning in, BS3 Radio Live, Reaction Monday. Let me know how your team did this week. Obviously, if you know me, you know I'm a Cowboys fan, and you know how bad they did this weekend. Yes, we do miss Dak. People saying, "Oh, Dak's not good," or "Dak's they don't miss Dak," or whatever you want to say. We 100% miss Dak because Dak is a major part of this offense. Dak is a major part of what we do when it comes to Monday. Make sure the audio is good to for this team. But we're going to talk about quite a couple of games. We should have some other BS3 radio hosts coming on. So make sure to keep it locked right here. We'll be going for about an hour. There's one undefeated team left, and that undefeated team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. With a big win over the Titans. The Titans are no longer undefeated. And it was a surprise ending to that game. You know, Steven Gostowski, shout out to Diego Rodriguez, what's going on in the building. Thank you for tuning in. And it's a surprise to see that Gostowski could not kick a game-winning field goal when normally he was money. He was money when it came to New England. Now he doesn't look as money as what he used to be. But again, let me know how your team did. As we're talking, shout out to Terry Artist Jr. Thank you for tuning in to Monday, Reaction Monday, BS3 Radio Live. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. Make sure to go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, we'll be doing a fantasy show on Wednesday. Man, we do a couple shows a week here at BS3 Radio, so we definitely keep the thing going. But let's talk about that Steelers game first. Back and forth type of game. And I have to say, this was not a game that traditionally how well Derrick Henry's been playing. Now, he had 75 yards, 20 carries, and a touchdown. But normally, Derrick Henry is eating up yards. Normally, he is. But in this situation, I guess you can say they kind of shut him down. He only had 3.8 yards per carry. A.J. Brown had a big day, 6 for 153 and a touchdown. And Ryan Tannehill, 220 and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Big Ben had 3 picks in this game. Honestly, the Steelers should have lost this game. It didn't end up working out that way. Juju was leading in receptions, 9 for 85 yards. And Connor, 6 for 82. But it all came down to that field goal. That's what it came down to at the end of the game. You put the ball in your kicker's hands, expecting them to be able to kick a field goal if needed. And Gostowski is one of those guys, like I said, that normally would be money. But in this situation, he wasn't as money. And that clearly you could see how big of a problem that was. And they could not get the win. They are no longer undefeated. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the sole undefeated team right now, and they look good. One of those guys. They look good right now. I got to give them their props. They're looking good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. A little bit of a breaking news story if you're not aware of it Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be out for the season. He is done. He will not be playing at all the rest of the season at a torn ACL, which we've seen so many injuries this year. It's just not fair. It's not fair the amount of injuries that we've seen, and it's not fair to anybody. Just the crazy amount of injuries that have gone down. A lot of players are out. A lot of players are out for the year. Now they did change the IR situation, so that kind of changes some things. Yes. Drawing a blank on his name, but McCaffrey from the Panthers, he is supposedly practiced this week, so he could be coming back real soon. But just, man, too many injuries. Too many injuries. And this game tonight is kind of a battle of the defenses. You know, you look at Jalen Ramsey, you look at Aaron Donald, you look at Khalil Mack on the other side. I mean, I think this is going to be a really competitive game. And then you have Nick Foles. Now they got Trubisky. It looks like Trubisky is warming up. Now, I don't know if he's warming up to be the starter or if he's warming up to be the backup, but they have been highly depending on Nick Foles, you know, as of late. And I'm actually picking the Bears to win this because I think this defense is going to be huge. I think they can definitely depend on the running game, and they've been winning. They've been winning close games, so it should be interesting to see how that goes. So, once again, big win by the Steelers. The other game I was going to touch on is the Tampa Bay Bucks with a big win over the Raiders, 45-20. Tom Brady is now the all-time passing touchdowns leader, and he had a monster day. Let me go to his stats. 369, 4 touchdowns. Scotty Miller, 109, 3 catches. 6 catches, excuse me. So a really big day. And Tom is still looking good, man. I got to give him his props. And I started him in fantasy. So thank you, Tom Brady, for coming through for your guy in fantasy. I needed you, and you came through when I needed you most. So thank you. Much appreciated. Another game, the Sunday night game, man, that one was crazy. That one was crazy. It was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray, you know, making plays with their legs, making plays with their arms. That was a really big game. Shout out to my boss's boss, Scott Baca. Thank you for tuning in. He said, is that record for passing yards for inflated or deflated balls? Both. I like that. Thank you, Scott, for tuning in. But yes, both. Shout out to Yad Vibes TV, my man Michael. If Tom don't make it a Super Bowl ever again, can we say that was Bill's system that made him? I would say it's some of both. Because Tom Brady does have a lot of the skills, but it is a lot because of being in that system. Now, they got a really good shot, especially they picked up AB. If nobody was aware, they picked up Antonio Brown, which I think was major. Them picking up Antonio Brown. They've already got weapons already. Mike Evans. They got Leonard Fournette. They have Gronk, and the defense is getting better. So I think they got a shot to make it this year. I'm not picking them to go to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if you can really pick anybody at this point because it's so, up and down right now. But that is an argument. if he never makes another Super Bowl, I think you can definitely say that it was because of Belichick. And Belichick is the mastermind. No doubt about it. Belichick is the mastermind. He is the guy that puts everything together. And he is the guy that is, really helped build this team. Now, you could do the flip question with Belichick, having Cam Newton there. Cam Newton is started off well, but they had a horrible game. They had a horrible game last week. And that did not go well at all. It did not go well. It was one of these, outings that should have been better, but it did not go well for New England. They end up losing a game that they should have been in. They should have been in it a little bit better than that. And they end up losing the game. Let me go to the exact 33-6. This is on a day where Jimmy G had 2 interceptions. This was also a day where the 49ers run game just tore it up. And I think the Panthers will get better, but this is a hard, punch to the gut, losing 33-6. Cam was sick most their defense took due to COVID-19. He has no one to get the ball to. That's a great point. And I think when it comes down to it, I think the Patriots will get better. I think they will end up in the mix for the playoffs because there's so much this year. There's so much up and down. We don't need to guarantee anybody in the playoffs. We don't need to do that at all. You look at the AFC East, you got the Bills 5-2, you got the Dolphins 3-3, and you got the Patriots 2-4. They could get in there. The Patriots could get in there. Shout out to the Dolphins, man, being 3-3. Shout out to Kevin Sanford, aka Rough Buff. Thank you for tuning in. You got to be feeling real good right now. You got to be feeling real good right now with the Bills at 5-2. They're making major noise, and they got a shot, man. I got to give the Bills their props. They really do have a shot to really make some noise this year, no doubt about it. If you look at that AFC North, man, the AFC North is so dangerous, man. With Pittsburgh at 6-0. Baltimore at 5-1, the Cleveland Browns at 5-2. The Bengals, you already know what the Bengals are going to do. Bengals not going to be in there at all, so you don't have to worry about that. But major division right there with that AFC North. Man, I didn't realize how good those teams were. And Baker Mayfield, as much as I'm not the biggest Baker Mayfield fan, Baker threw a laser pass into there this weekend, yesterday. And he threw it to a guy who really wasn't a top wide receiver. I see Patrick versus Russell in the Super Bowl. That would be a great Super Bowl right there, my man. That would be a great Super Bowl. Patrick on one side, Russ on the other. I would love to see that. I would love to see that Super Bowl. And you're looking at the MVP candidate, Russell Wilson. Kyler Murray's putting up major numbers too. We kind of referenced into the game last night. But I want to look at this. I want to look at the season leaders and stats. Let me pull those up. Matt Ryan is actually leading in passing. Number 2, Deshaun Watson. Number 3, Joe Burrow. Number 4, Josh Allen. And number 5, Teddy Bridgewater. Then 7 and 8, you got Patrick and Russell. Number 9, you had Dak, man, with Dak going out, which is a huge injury. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people want to hate on Dak, but they're not hating right now because we definitely, as in we, when I say Dallas Cowboys fans, definitely miss Dak right now. Like, no doubt. Can't be playing around and say, oh, well, we don't miss Dak that much. No, if you're a Cowboys fan, you miss Dak whether you want to or not, because he is huge for this team, for this organization, whatever else you want to call it. And he's been a major contributor this year, and he's been the guy. And you see with Andy Dalton coming in, there, you see what he's not able to do. But I mentioned this before. The fact is, this team has a horrible offensive line. And because of this offensive line, there's not a lot that they can do. I don't care who's back there playing. Let me bring in my man, Will Walker. Will,
what's up?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. Will, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah, good to get you on tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
Talking about that horrible, I was just mentioning that horrible Cowboys offensive line.
Woo. Woo.
Man, they're so pieced together, man. They got the dude that works at Safeway on one side. They got the rookie that was undrafted on the other side. And then they got the rookie from Wisconsin in the middle and some dude that used to work at Ross. I mean, like.
That's right. That's about what it looks like, a pieced together line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But a horrible loss, for the Cowboys. But I wanted to touch on, I want to get your thoughts on, you kind of talked about this on your show earlier. The Steelers, and the Titans, man. Gostowska, if he would have kicked that field goal, they would have been playing another quarter, in overtime. But talk about that game. What do you think about the Steelers being the sole undefeated team now?
Well, they're not the best team, but they are the sole undefeated team. That was a weird game. Watching that game, I watched it in the entire game. So the Steelers just really jumped on them early. They looked like they were trying to prove a point that the Titans didn't belong. And I got to give the Titans a lot of credit because they hung in there, man. They played ball. They played Mike Vrabel ball. I like the way he coaches. I'm gonna give some love to Ryan Tannehill. If you listen to my show, I do not like that guy all that much because he was an offense quarterback. But anyway, he played well yesterday, man. I can't take nothing from him. And the Steelers did what any team should do to the Titans, take away Derrick Henry. But Ryan Tannehill and I think that kid's name is A.J. Brown and Davis, man, they just played well. They did what they needed to do. Of course, Ben helped a little bit late in that game with the turnovers, but man, I came away more impressed with Tennessee than Pittsburgh, and that's unusual, when a team loses. But I came away impressed with Tennessee. Pittsburgh is a team that they look like Pittsburgh. They look like what we think Pittsburgh should look like. They play good defense. They got a strong running game. Who knew about the kid they got in the backfield now? I think it's Connor. But who knew? Yep. Yeah, who knew? Yeah. So, and they got a lot of receivers. Big Ben looks like he's on his game except for late yesterday. But they're gonna be tough, man. They're gonna be tough.
And they're always in the mix. I say that every single year. The Steelers are gonna be in the mix every single year. I don't care really who's playing QB because Big Ben's gonna get hurt at some point. It hasn't happened yet. Knock on wood, Steelers fans. But having Tomlin, man, they're just one of those disciplined teams that you can't cut out at any time. Let me read this comment. JD says, I thought Dalton would be fine. Wow, was I wrong? And look, Dalton had no time. So if he had at least a couple more seconds, maybe he could do something. The minute he tries to scramble, he gets knocked out. Yeah. So, and then we got Ben DiNucci time, aka the guy from The Sopranos. He seems like he got a name from The Sopranos. He didn't have time either. He got one pass in Amari Cooper. So the problem is the line. It's not a thing you can fix overnight. I don't even think you can trade for somebody. I mean, it's gonna be bad. Now, and I want to get your take on this. This gives more reason to say that Dak is more needed than anybody else on this team. He also helped and has been helping to cover up this O-line, which is bad. So give me your take on that.
I think Dak is definitely more needed, but I think a lot of the problems with the Dallas Cowboys has to do with what happened in that contract negotiations. I'm gonna agree with a lot of things I heard today on various shows in regards to. I think some of the players are a myth about the business side of the ball with Dak, and that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be in another man's pockets, but when that man's not taken care of, I think that tells a lot about how the organization is going to treat its players. Dak deserved his money. I get it. They offered him something, but he should have been up in that top echelon, as it's proven now that he was the main piece that was keeping that team together, bro. Because without
it
him,
literally fell apart.
It felt,
inch by inch. Besides that game that Dalton came in and they were playing for Dak, but after that, you look at that Cardinals game, and I've said this, and I'm gonna say this from here on out. If you play fantasy, listen to my words very clearly. Play any running back that is playing against the Cowboys, they're gonna get 100 yards guaranteed. Antonio Gibson, I don't even know who he is. He ran for 100 yards.
And score.
Right. The backup in Cleveland, like the third string, that guy, I don't even remember his name, was like D'Ernest. How do I know his name? Because he ran for 95 yards on us.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a continued problem. There's no other way around it.
I don't think it's so much coaching either. Although I don't have anything good to say about Mike McCarthy except that he was Aaron Rodgers' coach and Brent Favre's coach. But I don't think it's so much that. I think a lot of that is that the guys just, man, for some odd reason, I've never seen a professional football team, and it's not hyperbole. I've never seen a professional football team look like they quit in the first quarter. And the Cowboys look like they literally quit after that safety happened. It looked like they just checked out. They said, "Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna work."
All of their energy and enthusiasm just like dropped out.
Yep.
And I mean, from there on, it was just downhill. Like I don't think we scored a passing touchdown since Dak was out. So this is the second game. And then of all teams, we play the Eagles on Sunday night. Like, please, okay, NFL, Roger Goodell, if you're watching,
change it, huh?
Change it, please. Put something else there. Do not do that because it's going to be
not going to happen.
It's not going to be a good game at all.
But it's not going to happen because the Dallas Cowboys move the needle, and people are going to watch. Either there's people that love the Cowboys and people that hate the Cowboys, so they're not moving that game. That game is going to stay on Sunday night.
Exactly. I know it is. I know. I hate to hear it, but I know it is.
Yeah.
Let's go to another game, which if you guys can see the flyer or the promo, Browns Bengals. You know, this was a pass that Baker Mayfield made, aka Mr. Progressive commercial. Yep. He put it in there. I got to give him his props on that. This is something that we don't see all the time. Didn't he? I think he got benched last week, didn't he? In the backup.
Yep.
Case
Keenum came in.
This is the Bengals. So I don't know how much we give this a great job, Baker, or how much of this is you played the Bengals and that's who you're supposed to
be. Two things can be true. You can give him a great job, Baker, and they played the Bengals. But if they played the Bengals all 16 weeks, boy, he'd be an all-pro Hall of Famer. Because that's the only two games he's played well is against the Bengals. One on Thursday night and then yesterday. So, I mean, that entire team only plays good when they play the Bengals, except unless they play some other also ran. But when they go up against the heavyweights, they don't play well. So,
yeah.
You know.
Let me read this comment from Yad Vibes. Mike, who said, I think coaching has a lot to do with it. Those players don't look like they respect Mike at all. I don't think he's the right fit for Dallas. The problem is the Cowboys do not like change. When they bring somebody in, it's going to be at least 3 to 4 years. Sorry to say it. They don't like change. That's the reason why it took them so long to get rid of Jason Garrett. And so McCarthy's going to be here for at least 4 years. So, Cowboys fans got to deal with it.
But do the Cowboys play? Let me ask this question: do the Cowboys players like getting paid? Do they like playing in the NFL?
Oh yeah, they do. They
Well,
like
then,
that check.
well, then they're gonna have to find a way to get along with Mike McCarthy or run his scheme or something because Jerry Jones has made it clear he likes this guy, and they keep giving him support. So you cannot like the coach, you cannot agree with the scheme, but if you like playing in the NFL, you're gonna do it.
Right.
That's just the way it goes. It's the same way if you go to your job. You may not like your boss, but you like paying bills, don't you?
Oh yeah, you could be nice. You gonna make sure you say the nice things when they're around.
Exactly.
You're gonna make sure if they want some coffee. Okay, yes, sir, I got you. What kind you
Exactly.
want?
So I mean, you might not like everybody you work for or work with, but they got it's their effort just looked awful after their safety. I don't. That has nothing to do with him as the coach and Mike Nolan and Kellen Moore. That just they effort after that safety, after they made that stop and that safety happened. It was like the dam broke loose. It was like, man,
Yeah. They were like, oh well, here we go again.
That's exactly how they took it, and you could tell that's how it was because I've never seen a quarterback get hit like that and no reaction. There was
no. He got smooth. I mean, he was face first on the turf, and nobody went over there. Nobody. They all just was like, oh well.
I seen the reaction when that kid from Cincinnati hit Antonio Brown where the entire Steelers wanted to fight. All of them. They were just like, that's a wide receiver. When that guy slammed Aaron Rodgers from the Vikings some years ago, slammed him on his shoulder or something like that, and they just went nuts from Green Bay. That's how you're supposed to do that. I mean, you're supposed to go nuts. They supposed to handle Bostic. I was like, even watching it, I was like, wait a second. They just gonna stand around? They're not gonna chase this dude? Nothing's happened.
They're not gonna do anything.
Wow.
And then people bring up the point, well, Andy Dalton was yelling at the O-line because y'all this is the whole thing I'm trying to figure out. Do they want to win or not? Like, you're at a point in this year where yes, it's gonna be bad, but do you want to at least make the best of it, especially in this horrible division where nobody really wants to win it? I mean, Washington, they took care of us, because we're like a wounded animal. Everybody's basically kicking us. Everybody's poking at us. Everybody's eating the ribs and the chicken off the bones. But like, do you want to make what's best of this season or not? And I think
you're just a half a game out. And I don't know if fans know this or how many fans know this. There is extra playoff money.
Yeah.
So while the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying, they're just a half game out. The season is bleak as far as the won-loss record, but as far as the division, you're just a half a game out, and there is playoff bonus money that comes with this. Right. So there's an incentive to win the division and make the playoffs. So that's why this game on Sunday night, you never know. For some odd reason, I don't know what happened to Ezekiel Elliott. That's the
thing with that is, like, this team has been historically, even with Linehan, even with whoever was before him, when they get into a hole, they just say, forget the run. They just completely, like, even the commentator, I think it was Daryl Johnson, he was like, whatever y'all do, don't abandon the run. You still have an opportunity to do something, and you're abandoning the run so quickly. And you see that Zeke did not have a good day, and that's because he didn't get the ball.
Not only that,
you can't expect him to do stuff when they're not giving him opportunities.
But they stack the box. But there's ways to beat stacking the box. I don't know if that's in the Cowboys game plan, but there's ways to get around it. You take advantage of it. I mean, Amari Cooper's a $100 million wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb's a first-round draft pick. Gallup's played well. I mean, you got guys that can make plays against. When a team stacks the box, it's one-on-one coverage. That's what I know. That's what football's been as long as I've watched it. So take advantage of that. You don't need much time. If Justin Herbert can do what he's doing, and they're blitzing him almost 70% of the time, and you can't tell me that a experienced veteran quarterback like Andy Dalton can't find a way to get the ball into the position for the receiver to make a play in one-on-one coverage. That should be just any NFL quarterback should be able to do that. So I don't understand the ineptness of the Cowboys with abandoning the run. Even if they stop you, you still got to keep them honest.
Yeah.
You just can't drop. You don't have the offensive line to drop back every single play. You don't have those guys. So why not just leave? Okay, well, we get 2 yards. Okay, that's something. Instead of trying to drop back with Andy, that's not his game. That's not who Andy Dalton is. So you get the result you get yesterday against Washington.
Right. And it was just a tough game, man. A tough game to watch. My wife is always like, "Why you keep watching these?" She call them the sometimers.
She got a good point. She got a very good point.
You're right. Yeah. And then there's this graphic going around like, "Hey, if you got a Cowboys jersey, show up at 10 for practice."
Exactly.
People digging in. Hey, look, I don't have any comebacks. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't have no comebacks. I don't have nothing to say because we haven't been able to just play remotely well football. We just have not, and we've been definitely giving up, and just don't look like we want to win at all. And that's just what it's coming down to. Advised Baker still hasn't proven anything to me. The only team he looks great against. Basically piggybacking off your comment.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yeah, some say they'll be better without Beckham.
What?
Who
said that? Who said that?
What sense does that even make? Like, I'm not saying this to you, JD, but I'm like, whoever brought this up, like, if you got Beckham on the field, you could run a reverse.
Yes,
he could throw a pass. I mean, Beckham is so multi-talented. Like, I don't understand the logic behind that. Now you're losing him for the year.
Right.
Obviously, you got the kid that just blew up this week, Rashard Higgins. So I mean, you'll be fine, but no, I don't think that means they're going to be better.
He's not Baker. I mean, he's not OBJ. He's not OBJ.
Yeah, no. But I mean, he's going to fill in and do his thing. Probably a good possession, top wide receiver. But that's I don't understand that. Whoever brought that up, maybe it was on the ESPN. When they do their argument shows, maybe it was one of them.
Man, listen, if I don't care if they play Cincinnati every week, they don't need OBJ. That is correct. If they play Cincinnati every week, but they don't play Cincinnati every week. So sorry, no. You cannot lose a top 5 wide receiver and think that you're going to be better off without him. You can get other guys involved, but when the play needs to be made, they've shown they got to go to Baker. I mean, they got to go to OBJ. So I don't agree with that thought at all.
Shout out to Trey Frazier, Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you for jumping on. Honestly, I live here in Northeast Ohio. Okay. So I guess that's your squad. Then let me know if that's your squad. Let's see. We got a question. Was that hit really illegal or just looks bad? He didn't lead with the crown of his helmet. That was his shoulder.
That's illegal. It was illegal.
He was sliding. Okay?
Yes.
He gave himself up. There's no such thing as a fake slide. Okay. So, and this is Andy Dalton. If Andy Dalton's sliding, he's sliding. There's no like trickery or anything like that. So yes, it was illegal. The guy didn't get fined. They said he's not going to miss any time. So they felt like it's not something that they're going to penalize, which I'm shocked, because if you're laid out like that, you're defenseless. There should be no reason why. He did get kicked. Did he get kicked out of the game?
He got kicked out of the game. It's really a cheap play, and he's a veteran and he knows better. It's a cheap play. He knows quarterbacks. I mean, that's been a rule since Dan Marino played. So it's been a while. When they go into the slide motion, you cannot touch them. You cannot hit them. Kiki Alonso did that a couple of years ago on a Thursday night game against Joe Flacco and got kicked out the game. So no, once they get themselves up, you can't hit them. You matter of fact, you both avoid contact with them. Period. So that was dirty. And then he led with the shoulder, hit him in his head. Yeah, he really should be suspended. I agree with that thought. He should be suspended for a couple of games because that was just cheap. That was a cheap shot.
Yeah, you don't do that. JD said, "No, I'm a Broncos fan. Reason I don't make fun of the Cowboys."
Broncos played pretty well yesterday. I mean, they just have Drew Lock at quarterback. That solves their problem. That's everything you need to know right there.
Yeah, and this was a day uncharacteristic of. Now, if it was somebody else, you would say, "Oh, that's great stats." But
Right.
Patrick Mahomes, 200 yards, 1 touchdown. That's it. Didn't
Yeah.
have any rushing yards either. Like that's a day where you would say that's a great day if that was Drew Lock, but that's a horrible. That's a not so good day for Patrick. But the thing is, they're so good at every facet of the game. You know, in the words of Jason Garrett, 3 facets of the game. They had a return, they had a pick six, and Edwards-Helaire ran in for a touchdown. So, I mean, once you put those together, that's the reason why. And plus, it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the better team. This was the win that we knew was going to happen.
Yeah, that game was. The stats from that game shouldn't even count because they treated it like a scrimmage. Truly, they did. They treated it. I mean, the Chiefs knew they were going to beat the Broncos, so they just cheated. It wasn't even nothing major that was going on. So, and yeah, he's right. They didn't convert 1 third down, and it had nothing to do with the weather. They were not innovative. They were not creative on offense. It was such vanilla stuff that they were running. It was just like, whatever. We know we're going to win, so that's not putting nothing else on tape. That's the way they treated that game yesterday.
Yeah, even though, you putting something on tape or not putting something on tape is not going to make that big of a difference. Unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure you agree with this, JD, they're not going anywhere this year. And not having Von Miller, I think, was a huge hurt. And this is kind of a Drew Lock practice year, if you will, because this is really his first year, fully starting. So let's see. We got a question. Can we say the Eagles will win the NFC East?
The Eagles got just as many injuries as the Cowboys.
Yeah. The Cowboys are done. The Giants look like midgets, and Washington is trash. They should. It's kind of in their lap. Like if they don't win this, I don't know who's second up. I mean, I guess you could say, I don't know. I guess you could say the Giants. But either way, it's a flip of the coin for every last one of these teams.
Exactly.
And if Andy Dalton doesn't play this week, this is going to be probably one of the worst games of the year, even though they just lost. We just lost to the Washington football team, 25-3. But if Ben DiNucci comes in there,
where's the game in? The game's in Philly or Dallas?
Let's check and see. I know they played in Washington last week, so let's see where this is going to be. Either way, though, it's in Philly. It's in Philly.
I give Dallas a chance in that game because see, they're going. The Eagles are going to probably look at it the same way we're looking at it. DiNucci is the quarterback, so there's no film on him, no real film. So Dallas Cowboys can pull all the stops out. They can run waggles, boots, all kind of stuff to just surprise them. You never know. I've seen it before. A team that's without their starting quarterback and maybe the second or third string guy comes in and then all of a sudden they pull an upset. And again, the Eagles are just as banged up as the Cowboys are. No Deshaun Jackson. I think one of their top wide receivers is out, and Ertz is out. Zach Ertz is out. So they got a lot. Yeah, they got a lot of injuries. I mean, Wentz is the best quarterback in the division. Depends on who you talk to.
Right. As of right now, yes.
Yeah, as of right now, okay. Yeah.
I would say as of right now, that Prescott is hurt. Yes. Yeah, I agree there.
All right, okay.
And we got 2 red-haired wonders. We got Carson, and then we got Dalton.
Right.
And then we got the third redhead, Jason Garrett, coaching with the Giants.
And it would not surprise me if the Giants win in the division. It just wouldn't. And that's without Saquon Barkley. If they could just get Daniel Jones and not stumble at the 10-yard line when he's got a wide open end zone in front. Explain. So that is the weirdest play I've seen in football.
That was one of those ghost plays where a ghost came up out of the grass and tripped him. There was no way. This dude has so wide open field. Like there was no reason why he should have failed. No reason why he should have failed. That was the perfect way to sum up that game on Thursday night. Exactly.
That's crazy.
Let's get to the monster game Sunday night in overtime. Almost came to a tie. I'm just shocked and I don't know if Russell Wilson was tired. I don't know if just that defense was or that D line was getting after him, but him throwing 2 picks, which is so uncharacteristic of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not. He's a human. I think we
Mm-hmm.
realize he's human. He's gonna make mistakes, and he definitely made 2 mistakes, and getting picked off towards the end of the game was major. But man, talk about that game, which it lived up to the hype for sure.
It did, but when you're talking about Russell Wilson's interceptions, what happened with Russell Wilson that last play? He's trying to make plays. He has to because his defense is garbage. Yeah, his defense is absolutely trash. So it's a lot of pressure on him to be able to keep his team in the game. They had 39 minutes of possession in that game out of 60, almost 70 minutes played. So they possessed the ball, they ran the ball. I mean, they had over 500 yards of offense, but unfortunately, they gave up 500 yards on defense. So it's a great offensive team, not a very good defensive team, and the pressure's on him. He has to play near perfect for that team to be in the position they're in to win games. And he has so far. It's just yesterday he made 2 critical errors that led to Arizona being able to get that win. I'm not really upset. I'm not really looking at that play at the end zone, the interception he threw, because he didn't see the guy. That's how Russell Wilson plays. He throws a very catchable ball. The running back looked wide open. The defender jumped it. And that last play, he tried to force it. I mean, he was trying to make a play to get his team a chance to win and not get the tie. So, and he has to. It's just, that's the way Seattle's going to win. That's why I say they got a championship offense. They just don't have a championship level defense because they put 0 pressure on Kyler Murray last night. None. Yeah. I mean, he sat back there a lot and looked for that one guy that he's looking for every time he drops back to throw. He is looking for a D-Hop and I don't blame him. Yeah. He should, but that's who
Sure hands D-Hop, man. That put anything in that dude's vicinity. I mean, it's almost like he's got stickum on his hands, but his hands are just that good.
Yeah, he's just that good, man.
Anywhere in the vicinity, he's gonna grab it. If the Giants win the division, I'm selling my house.
I don't know. I wouldn't put that out there unless you don't want to.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. To think that one of the NFC East teams going to get a home playoff game, that's wild, man. I would almost say if they end up with all of them below 500, just pass over that. I said this before. Just pass over that over that division because they don't look like they want to win. Now there's still a long remainder of the season, so who knows? The Eagles may with all their health and stuff coming back. Alshon's probably going to come back at some point. All the injuries they have. The Giants, which, again, when you play the Cowboys, though, every team looks wonderful. So the Giants still got a long part of the season to go. Mm-hmm. But if I had to pick a team, I would say it should be the Eagles. It should be. And I hate to have to say that. I'm almost, throwing up in my mouth having to say that out loud, but I think it's the truth.
It's funny because a lot of people are giving the Eagles credit for coming back against Pittsburgh, and I think they came back against the Ravens. They still lost the game, but they said, well, they played well. Well, if you're losing 30-7 or 30-14, the other team's cruising. Lamar Jackson just burst a 50-yard run, and the Ravens was like, okay, this is over. But the Eagles kept playing to their credit. So I think some of this stuff, I get it. You want to find a silver lining and things, especially with how bad the NFC East is. But let's be real. They were out of that game, and the Ravens cruised. That's all it was, and that's how they got back in it. So I'm not sold on the Eagles. I'm sorry. They got just as many injuries as the Cowboys. So anything can happen in this division. I mean, you may get a 5-win team to win a division.
Oh, my God. You may 5, 4.
But they're going to get a home playoff game. That's the way that's the way the playoffs are set up. They don't have it to where, well, if you're not 500, you don't get a playoff. No, if you win your division, you get a home playoff game. So that's what it is. So some team that's 13-3 or 12-4 is going to have to go to one of those teams with a subpar record and play on the road.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's just the facts about it.
Yeah,
would sound like Michael got somebody to help him move. JD said, "I'll help you move." Shout out to my man OC Overton Claiborne, man. He's doing great things. He's doing the StreamYard live shows as well. Make sure to follow him. the defense coach for Arizona called the right call to drop the linebackers.
Very true.
And Isaiah Simmons, man. Isaiah Simmons he plays linebacker, but he looks – I don't even know what he looks like. I would say he looks like a safety maybe, but the guy is one of those just freak athletes from Clemson. So I'm not surprised that he ended up getting in front of that.
You can put him in the category like a Cam Chancellor, Sean Taylor. I'm not comparing them to those two, but his size and athleticism is comparable.
Yeah. Second place is a loss. I guess maybe commenting on I don't know what we're talking about. Not sold at all on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Nobody is.
Only
the Eagles fans are sold on the Eagles. That's
exactly.
That is it.
And if my team was in that division and they were 2-4-1 and they was in first place, I'd be celebrating too. I mean, that's whatever. If you're an Eagles fan, you should be happy, but you shouldn't be thinking that you got it all made because of what's going on in Dallas or what's going on with Washington or New York, because you're not that much better and your health is not that good either. So, yeah, he's a tweener. You're correct.
I agree. I agree 100%. The NFC East this season is a perfect example of why the NFL and the NBA both need to go with playoff seeds based on records, regardless of division and conference. I'm all for that because I think then you get the absolute best teams with the best records. Now the flip side though is, you remember we had that 7-9 Seattle team. That was the emergence of beast mode. That was when beast mode became he was already beast mode, but he became beast mode to the whole world.
Right.
So I don't know, because it's all when you get into the tournament. I mean, basically, that's what it is. If you get that spark at the right time, that's when you have 9 and 7 teams going to the Super Bowl, just because you get that. So I mean, I would love to see it just to kind of mix it up, but I don't think they would do it though.
No, they're not doing it. So there's nothing else to say about it. They're not doing it. They're not.
Let's go ahead.
No, I'm just saying they're not doing
it. Guess who gives up a lead again? You mentioned this earlier. Todd Gurley. I thought Todd Gurley, it almost looked like he got shot in the leg. The way he fell was like
it's not his fault.
It's not
his fault.
Atlanta play defense. Maybe
he tried to fall at the 1 yard line and his momentum just carried him right over the line. But it wasn't his fault. That defense they had one timeout. They went 1 minute and 4 seconds down the field and got that touchdown. So that's not on Todd Gurley. It's not on Raheem Morris. The coach for Atlanta came out there and said, well, we should have kneeled. It should, on Matt Ryan. No, your defense should have made a play. That's all it is. The defense should have made a play. And
that's so it. Matthew Stafford just went down, just went down, and they walked off with a touchdown, not a field goal. They went down the field and scored a touchdown on that defense, which the defense is not that bad. I just don't know why they can't seem to make stops when you need to make a stop. Or Matthew Stafford's just that good, one or the other. Or it's the curse. It's the curse of the Falcons.
That's probably the latter is probably what it is. But the worst thing of all of that on that last drive, they ran 2 clock plays. They sacrificed 2 downs. Think about that.
Yeah.
They sacrificed 2 downs and still went 74 yards.
Yeah. And the Falcons, I thought they would have got a little bit of a boost, which they did. You look at, they got the win the week after they fired their coach, Dan Quinn. But that was probably it. And they're going to be in the running for Trevor Lawrence. Now, I don't know, there's already been a question. We brought this up a couple of weeks ago. There's already a question that the owner is saying, I don't know. I'm not that confident in Matt Ryan.
The owner's lying. I'm telling you, he's lying. Because that kid is from he's from not too far from where I live. He's from Cartersville, Georgia. Yeah. That's outside of Atlanta. That owner's lying. If he could get Trevor Lawrence on that team, I don't care what Matt Ryan does.
Yeah, well, he's agreeing though. His comment was, "I'm not that confident on Matt Ryan." That was
okay. I thought he was not saying he's gonna take it.
He's not all in. You know, there's no reason to be all in when you're playing this bad of football. There's no all in, and that's what I need to see with these Cowboys. Like this organization traditionally is like, let's coddle these people, let's give them money, but don't back it up with expectation. Just say, oh, here's $100 million. Do your best. We're not gonna pressure you. We're not gonna make you try. We're not gonna make you try to win your starting job. That's the one thing I was hoping, which is only 1 year. So I'm gonna give McCarthy a break this year. Next year though, when you got a camp and all that, everybody competing for the starting job. Now, Zeke's probably gonna get the starting job because you got Pollard, and Pollard's not better than Zeke. But if you look at somebody, the whole defense, forget all these dudes. Like none of y'all is making sacks. None of y'all is doing anything. They brought up this play, that play where Gibson had a 20 or so yard run, and the guy's running away from Gibson. Gibson is running towards him. Look at my hand, and he's running like this. Yeah. I'm like, turn around and try to make a tackle. Like, did somebody pay y'all? I don't understand it. But again, it's the Cowboys, and if you're a Cowboys fan, you have to know that there's gonna be ups and downs, and there's gonna be games every single year where they're not gonna go well. Now, I know a lot of us are saying, well, let's see this change, let's see this different change. This year is a wash. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but this year's a wash. Let's regroup for next year and see what we can do.
Yeah, but they came into this year with all that talent. They got Everson Griffin. They got Alton Smith after 5 years off, but he's shown that he played well.
He played good.
I mean, D-Law, they got Jalen Smith. The secondary, okay, yeah, that was questionable, but you shouldn't be. Team should not be running the ball in the Cowboys the way they are. I mean, the Cowboys supposed to have talent up front. The secondary, of course, but it makes no sense what's going on with Dallas. I mean, I didn't think they would be a Super Bowl contender, but I didn't think they would be 2-5 bad through 7 games. You know, but it's just
news coming out today. Everson Griffin is on the trading block. Now, I don't know. That's just because I don't know. I know he hasn't performed technically up to what people expect. I think he's got 1.5. I think he's got 1.5 sacks so far this year. But it's not Everson Griffin's fault. So if you're trying to trade him to blame him, it's not his fault. Look at D-Law, who's getting paid that much money. Look at the middle. Look at Tyrone Crawford. Look at all of these cats that just got paid. And I love Jalen Smith, but Jalen Smith gets blown up on a lot of coverage. He gets turned around too often. And I think we all love the comeback story. We all love that guy that blew up his knee and had a couple of good years, and they get paid, and none of them are living up to their contracts. I think that's what it comes down to. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to my bro Chris Hart, man. That's one of my best friends, college roommate. He actually lives in Atlanta. He said they are paid professionals, brother. Be competitive or give back the check. Facts. Good point. Which they're not doing the latter. Exactly. They're not giving back the check. Ain't giving no money back. That is not that will not ever happen. So news. OBJ's out for the year. There was another player that went down with an injury. Trying to see. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars running back, which I don't think he's actually played at all. Raquel Armstead, he's out for the year. And it's just been so many injuries. I mean, you can't expect all of these guys to be in tip-top shape because they weren't 100% prepared, and the NFL didn't really do that good of a job to best prepare them either. And it's going to happen. Saquon, now OBJ, Dak, which Dax that was just. I mean, C-Max, Christian McCaffrey's missed time, so you're right. And he may be coming back. I think he practiced, or he's going to be practicing this week. He would have made a difference. He would have made a difference yesterday for Carolina, but I'm going to give Teddy Bridgewater a lot of credit because he played his tail off yesterday. Played a very good game, but they just came up just a little short. But he played a good game. Teddy Bridgewater did. I love what they're doing in Carolina. I'm not I didn't know that much about Matt Rule, but I do know he's trying to put them in the best position to win, and that's really all you can ask for. And you gave Teddy Bridgewater a chance, which for me, man, you get a lot of brownie points doing that. When not a lot of it didn't seem like a lot of other teams were trying to give him a starting job. So,
but not only did he give him a chance, he gave him quality receivers, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, which is two underrated cats, very good guys. They're probably in that same underrated category with the Detroit guys, Jones and Galladay. But that receiving core over there in Carolina is pretty good, and Teddy's taking advantage of it, even without Christian McCaffrey. He's getting an opportunity. He's making good passes. He had a rough game against Chicago, but Chicago will do that to a lot of people. But he looked good yesterday. He looked really good. He gave his team a chance to win, and they should have won. But hey, it came just a little short.
Yeah. So who you got tonight? The game's already started. Who you got tonight? Bears, Rams.
This is a tough game because I really think these two teams mirror each other. I know Goff is playing well, but who's got good confidence? Who's got a lot of confidence in Goff right now? Because you never know, especially off of last year. And I'm just not that sold on Foles. But both of these teams they can put pressure on you. They got good defenses. They got good corners, good safeties. So I'll be surprised if either one of these teams score 3 touchdowns. But I'm gonna go with the home team to pull a 17. I'll say 17-13, 17-14 score. I just don't see neither one of these offenses being able to move up and down the field against either one of these defenses, which is why I'm terrified the Dolphins are going to start Tua against the Rams next week.
It's Tua time now. I'm gonna pick the Bears. I think it is going to be a defensive matchup, and I think the Bears are going to be one that's going to prevail. We just got Jared Goff running around. He looks super out of breath, man. Don't be doing that too much. I guess don't be scrambling. He looked like he was about to pass out.
got Khalil Mack and the boys running after him. You don't blame. I can't blame him on that one.
Yeah. Overton Claiborne says, "Wow, Chicago 34-17. Man,
That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bears. Now, it does look like it's Tua time. I know you were against that. What was your thoughts on Fitzpatrick's comments with saying he was hurt? Now, I don't. Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic. He's one of these guys where they play great for a period of the season, and everybody just like put him on their horse, like he's riding off in the sunset type of situation. But give me your thoughts on it.
Well, Fitzpatrick, the last maybe 5 games last year, he started to play well. He's played well in spurts this year, but it's been the level of competition. He played well against Jacksonville, and he played well against the Jets. But in the games where they played the New England Patriots the first game, and then they played Buffalo, and then they came and they played, I think it was Seattle. Yeah, those were 3 losses. He just didn't look good, and Seattle has a shaky defense. It's the red zone turnovers, I think, that's what cost him his job. He did good from 20 to 20, but when he got into the red zone, he just made a lot of mistakes. He had 7 turnovers, and 3 of those came in the red zone. So the one thing that the Dolphins are harping on, the scouts have said, his Tua is accurate. They've all said in practice his accuracy is legit. I don't know about the arm. I've always questioned the arm. I know what he did at Bama. I like Justin Herbert myself because I thought his arm was stronger. But anyway, Fitz, to me, his red zone turnovers hurt the Dolphins, especially against Seattle and definitely against the Patriots in the first game. So why the Dolphins are making this move when the Patriots stink right now and they're only 1 game behind Buffalo?
Yeah,
I don't get it. I maybe there's a method to the madness with Greer and Flores, but I don't know, man. It's baffling a lot of Dolphin fans that saying, listen, you're 3-3. And after the Rams, the Dolphins played nobody. I mean, nobody. They got a chance. They should be favored in every game except for the Arizona game that they play after they play the Rams. I mean, the Dolphins could seriously be sitting at like 7-4.
Yeah.
If Fitz was the quarterback.
Now, the one thing, and I agree with you because I was very hesitant on Tua, period, because the guy has a history of injuries. Like anybody that's watched his college career, every year he's had some type of injury, ankle, knee, hip.
Yep.
I mean, like there's a list, and this is the NFL. So yeah, you may be quick, but all of these guys are quick. Everybody's quick. There's not like one person that's not quick per se. And starting him I knew he was going to get in, so I'm not surprised. But you gotta have a quality line to be able to protect this dude, or else he's going to get into a situation where he ends up getting injured his first year, and who knows what that does for the rest.
It's not even the problem with the Rams pass rush. It's the fact that those two corners, Jalen Ramsey and that other kid, I think his name is Hill on the other side, they're big corners. They can match. This not height wise, but they're not little guys. They're like 6'1" corners. The Dolphins have a 6'3" and a 6'5" wide receiver, but the Rams play up on you. They jam at the line. So all that quick pass and stuff, it's going to be whether those guys on the outside can win those battles, because he's not holding the ball to wait for a go route. That's not happening because he'll get creamed. So exactly. So he's going to have to either throw quick slants. They're going to be throwing screens, bubble screens. They'll be throwing those little touch shovel passes that they do nowadays. So it's just a bad matchup. It is a baptism by fire because he will get hit in that game.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening. So I hope he's ready. I knew that this was going to happen by, I said, week 6 or 7, just because. And just the same thing with Herbert. Herbert was going to get in. Jalen Hurts has already got in. We already had the Hurts watch, which it sounds like they're going to kind of use him like hopefully not like a Taysom Hill. Please don't do that.
That's what they're doing though. That's exactly what they're doing to him. They're treating him like Taysom Hill. Like Hill. So
yeah. So we'll see what happens the remainder of this season. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. NFL Reaction Monday, week 7, week 8 coming up. Before we go, how'd you do in fantasy this week? I
lost to you guys. I came in last again, but
I thought I was last.
It said 0 out of 6. So I think I was at the bottom somewhere. I don't know. I got to look at it again, but I did win because I picked up Gibson and I picked up Lockett, and unfortunately I went with Stafford. So I had a good one. I did come out of a national pool, so I did get a $5 out of a $10 play. So that's not bad. I only lost 5. Well, no, I lost 10 because I lost 5 to you guys too. So it is what it is. So, oh shoot, I said that too loud. She might hear it. But anyway.
Yeah, DraftKings, I'm 7th. Bears defense, it looks like you're actually 4th.
Oh, okay.
Bears defense, come through from me, get a couple interceptions, picks, fumbles. Do whatever you got to do.
You may get that. You may get that. It's just going to be a defensive battle. You just may, because you never know with golf. But you better. I know this much. Don't underestimate Cooper Kupp. I know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. Don't let that skin fool you that he playing wide receiver. That boy can run. He can run.
Right. Hey, the last thing I'm gonna say, DK Metcalf, what a hustle play, man. Even though they ended up winning the game, but hustle play. Like he hunted that dude down. Like I don't know if I ever seen it, and then he just like fell out, which I understand.
Does he remind you of Megatron? That's my question.
He does a little bit. He does a little bit, but I don't know if they're the same size. I know Metcalf is ripped.
Yeah.
Megatron just jumped above everybody.
I think Megatron was like 6'4". I think this kid is like 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there. Not that far.
A little bit, but it's early. But I think.
But this kid's thick.
Freak,
that kid is thick. He puts me in the mind of Tim Brown more than Megatron. That's what he puts me in the mind of. Yeah,
I like that comparison too.
Yeah,
but I'll be watching them close. Him and AJ Brown, didn't they go to Ole Miss? I think
so. I think they were on the same college team. AJ, they look like the same guy.
Yeah, I know.
They're
doing the same workout regimen, probably.
Something. They look like the same exact dude. Like they didn't miss no meals at Ole Miss. No,
nah. They was eating real good.
Eating real good.
All right. Well, thank you, Will, for coming on tonight.
No problem, man.
Man, anytime. Make sure you check out Will's Take on Sports, which is on all podcasting avenues. Also on BS3 Radio. Go to BS3Radio.com. You can find all the episodes there. Dropped one this morning. I finally got up early to listen to it live. Man, I'll be like, I wake up at like 6:30 and I'll be like, I missed it again.
Yeah, that's mostly for the East Coast people. I don't know. I got a West Coast person that listens faithfully. I think that person works overnight. I think they work overnight, but mostly it's for the East Coast, and my Georgia people. They tune in and give me some love, and then on the band hits, and I get the hate. But it's all good. Especially from my Dolphin fans. And my Dolphin fans, if you're watching this on Facebook, I apologize. I'm sorry. But
he still loves y'all though.
I still love you, but it's just not tour time for me. I'm sorry. But I still love you.
Yeah. All right, Will.
But thanks, man. Be easy.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Good night.
All right, you too.
Thanks. All right, so that was Will Walker, Will's Take on Sports. This is BS3 Radio Reaction Monday. Thank you all those for tuning in. We will be on Wednesday this week. We're doing a fantasy football show, kind of talking about our teams, talking about some waiver wires. Obviously, you got injuries. Kenyon Drake is probably going to be out. OBJ is going to be out. We're going to help you with some guys to pick up. So you can tune in on YouTube and Facebook Live. Thank you all those for tuning in and checking us out. My man Blake Cochran of Keeping It Hill. Go to keepingithill.com. Support Yad Vibes. My man Michael, make sure to check out the YouTube channel. Overton Claiborne talking with OC. Man, he's been doing shows almost every day. JD, the fantasy football connoisseur. Man, this dude is number one in our league that we're in. I'm in a couple leagues. Let me see who else so I don't miss anybody. Trey Frazier, Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. That's my guy. You can find that on all podcast platforms. Courtney Harden, The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. He's a part of BS3 Radio. Scott Baca, my boss. Thank you for checking in. Great to see you. He's a Denver Broncos fan. They had a tough loss. And Diego Rodriguez. Make sure to check everybody out. Terry and Terry Artist Jr. Thank you. And my man Chris Hart, a.k.a. Hollywood. That's a nickname, man. That's my college roommate, one of my best friends. I got to get him on here one day. We got to talk. We got to talk something because he's definitely a sports guy, music guy like myself. So you guys have a great night. Make sure to check us out on Wednesday. Also, we will have continued shows. Go to bs3radio.com. Do me a favor. Go to bs3radio.com and check out the website. Also, you can support us in different ways. You can support us on PayPal, paypal.me/BS3. Also, CashApp, $ BS3 Radio. And support us on Patreon, patreon.com BS3 Radio. You can join our loyal listener squad. It's $5 a month. We'll give you a shout out every single month. Also, we'll put your name on our website. It will be greatly appreciated to support. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. God bless. God is love. Peace.